Nagato. Got no father like I'm Naruto. Keep the blade on me, Ichigo. Who really wanna go toe for toe? GTR from Tokyo. Diamonds whipping up on the stove. Lucky man like a 4-leaf clove. Diamonds wanna go.
Hello everyone, this is Nagato Revenge here. Hope you guys are having a great Friday for today. In today's video, you could just read by the title, I'm celebrating my 1,000 subscribers that I just got recently on, I think, Wednesday. So I just want to give you guys a big shout out and thank you for, supporting my channel, for retweeting my stuff out, for joining my Discord, and I do appreciate all of the love that I've gotten into this channel in the last 3 months. So I just want to say thank you all. But in today's video, it's going to be a fun one, so I'm just going to be doing a Q&A. I asked my subscribers and fans and supporters some questions they may have about me and wanting to get to know the actual me, since y'all probably just hear me do a bunch of tutorials and y'all really wanted to know some of my hobbies and interests and stuff like that. Just to make the video less boring for today, I have some Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay in the background, and I also will have a ton of questions that y'all guys wanted to ask. But with that being stated out the way, I could go and get started with the intro. So fairly simple. Like, my name is Nagato. I recently started making YouTube, as y'all guys know, 3 months ago. And that's basically the gist and some of that. Some of the things I'm going to be talking about in this video is some side hobbies, my favorite games, favorite sports, and some things like that onto those topics. The first topic we're going to be starting with today is some of my side hobbies. So if many of y'all guys know, outside of YouTube, I do create music. I rap and I make freestyles and stuff like that. I also mess with making beats sometimes using like FL Studio and other projects and programs like Audacity like that. If you guys want to check out my music, I currently do not make music due to the equipment I don't have, and I want to get into music back again. I want to make sure I have the proper equipment and all that stuff. But I do have a SoundCloud that y'all guys could check out some of my raps and freestyles. A fun fact on my channel, the intro you famously hear, that is me rapping on that beat. So if y'all guys, I have 2 intros, that's both me rapping on the beat. So I made those 2 intros in less than like 30 seconds, and I just rendered it on, I think, Sony Vegas. Yeah, I rendered it on Sony Vegas. I don't know why I was going to call it Photoshop, but yeah, both of my intros on my channel are basically for me. So yeah, that's one fun fact. Another side hobby that many of you guys probably know if you've been in the Discord, I love cars. That's one of my other passions other than music. Ever since a little kid, I fell in love with Japanese cars in particular. My favorite car of all time is the I can't even talk today, the Nissan Skyline from Japan, the 1999 version. I love the Cellati. I'm into like the Mitsubishi Evos, the BMWs. I do have a passion for German cars, but I grew up on Fast and Furious. I played a lot of racing games like Gran Turismo, and I'll get a little bit more into that into this video, but I have a big passion in Japanese cars. So ever since a little kid, I used to collect like Hot Wheels die-cast cars and stuff like that. But that's one of the topics that some other side hobbies I have. I like to play basketball on my free time, of course play video games and some other stuff like that. One of my questions that I came up with, it's not just from like supporters, but one question I think y'all guys may like. I'm heavy into sports, so I'm from New York, but it's kind of a contradictory. For the NBA, I love the Boston Celtics. I know New York Knicks fans are gonna hate me for this, but I've always been a Celtics fan. My favorite players from there with Rajon Rondo. You got Paul Pierce from that era. I love Larry Bird from the 80s, and I was always heavy into basketball as a kid. One of my other sports teams that I really love, since I only watch baseball and basketball, is the New York Yankees. Fun fact, I used to live near the New York Yankees as a kid, so I always had a heavy influence into liking the Yankees. And of course, all the best players came from New York in terms of the Yankees, like Derek Jeter, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, the list could go on. So yeah, those are like some of my favorite sports teams as well. Another topic that we're going to be talking about today in my Q&A video is just what are some of my favorite video games, and this is probably a topic that maybe y'all guys will like. So some of my video games, probably as you see on, or maybe you could showcase that on the screen right here. I love Kingdom Hearts. If y'all guys have watched throughout my YouTube videos or just looked on my Twitter, I'm a big fan of Kingdom Hearts. I think I bought that game about 6 or 7 times from the PS2 to PS3, and also buying the Japanese re-editions and stuff like that. I remember playing that as a kid on PlayStation 2, and I fell in love with it. A lot of my favorite video games are actually not from this gen console. It's from the PS2 era, I guess, because as a kid I fell in love with that, since those are the games I primarily used to play. But one of my other favorite gaming series, and one game in particular, is Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. Since I already told you guys I love cars, this game I probably spent way too much time as a kid, customizing my favorite cars and doing all the races. I remember not platinuming the game, but having it full 100% on my old PS2 memory card save file. And I remember having a bunch of fun customizing the cars in Midnight Club, and it had a really killer soundtrack. I love the diversity of the music in Midnight Club. It went from like hip hop to rap and such and so forth like that. Another thing that I loved, or another game I liked, was Need for Speed Underground 2. Had a really good soundtrack on that one, and I remember the Need for Speed Underground 2 copy came with Burnout, and I remember playing that, so that was like a double feature. And this is when EA was a good company, in my opinion, as many of you guys probably would agree. But I love Need for Speed Underground 2, especially playing with the 350Z for your first mission or whatever in the game, and then racing, street racing on, I forgot what the city was called. I think it was called Bayview or something like that. I can't really remember the name since the game came out in 2004, but I think it was called Bridgeport. The other game that I do like as well is, of course, GTA San Andreas. I don't really got to say anything about it. I think me personally, why I love Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is just how big the open world is. I love open world games. I think it's pretty cool that I could, drive anywhere, walk into stores. You could do a lot of, imaginative role playing into that as well, like a lot of communities do in the GTA franchise. One of my favorite franchises as well is GTA. Of course, I love GTA 5 as well. That's probably one of the top games I play on the PlayStation 4, and I used to mod a ton of Grand Theft Auto 5 back on PS3, and I do some of it on PS4 on my 5.05 PS4. But yeah, GTA series is probably one of my favorite video game series of all time. Another fan series I really love too as well is Persona 5. If you're into JRPGs, and y'all probably know of Final Fantasy and stuff like that, which is such a good series as well, Persona 5 is probably one of my top favorite PS3/PS4 games. It's pretty good story, not even pretty good, it's a phenomenal story, and I suggest highly, if you're into like Japanese anime games and you like a good fun story with characters that have a heavy plot into them, you guys should check out Persona 5. As showcased on the screen as of right now as well, here are some of my favorite video games in terms of just fan series. So Jet Set Radio, to name a few, Need for Speed, Gravity Rush. I am a big Dance Dance Revolution fan. Dot Hack Recode, Parappa the Rapper. I like DJ Hero. I know it's not shown on here. I'm just looking at the list video right now that I wrote down for the script for this video to showcase to y'all. Some, of course, like Sonic, Persona, Namco, so the classic Pac-Man and stuff. I love original retro classic games, Neo Geo, Gran Turismo, Street Fighter, Outrun, and of course you can't forget Mario. I do love Nintendo still, even though I mostly talk about PlayStation on my channel. I love Nintendo. But with all that getting stated out the way as well in terms of my favorite video games, some of the things, one question that I came up with are, what are some things that I like to do on my free time? So of course I like to play video games, I like to make music, I also like to develop YouTube videos. I think I found my passion in terms of editing. I really do like to edit, even though it takes a while for me to do. I do like seeing my project come from the start up all the way till the finished project. I really enjoy that. I like to study. I love researching things about history, science. I'm a big nerd in terms of that stuff. I love learning about politics and reading about ancient civilizations. I was always a history buff back in school, and I do like spending time with my family and also with my girlfriend when I do have the chance. But yeah, those are some general free things I like to do in free time. I play basketball and stuff like that. And also talk to y'all guys in the community. I do enjoy that as well. Next question that I had for myself: what is my favorite game to mod? And this is pretty hard because there's a ton of games that I've modded sense I can't even detail. But one of my favorite games that I of course like to mod is probably Grand Theft Auto 5, just because of like all the things you could do, especially via the PC. I never owned the PC copy of GTA 5, but I've seen some cool videos where people, make, Los Santos, have an earthquake or something like that. Or, since with the car mods, I love the car modding scene in GTA 5, where people put like, custom BMWs and actual skylines with all body kits and stuff like that. Like before Benny's was out, people were doing that manually. So it got to be Grand Theft Auto 5. And, just with the money drops and stuff, I think GTA 5 is one of the most games you could get your stuff out of in terms of modding. One question I made for myself while making this video: if I had anywhere to travel, where would it be? I have like one or two places in my head, but I've loved Japan ever since a kid. If I had to go anywhere, it's probably Tokyo, Japan, or Akihabara, or Shinjuku. The second place would have to be Seoul, Korea, but definitely Japan. I just love the culture. I grew up watching a lot of animes as a kid, of course, like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Soul Eater. I'm into like Initial D, Wengen Midnight, Sword Art Online. Basically all the typical ones. I'm a weeb essentially. The next question that I got is from Nincity or Nine City. I'm sorry if I butcher your name. He asked me, what are the easiest / hardest topics you dealt with in terms of modding? It depends. When I first started modding back in 2012, I had no idea on what I was doing. I didn't even know what a PlayStation 3 jailbreak was, and I got into it due to PlayStation Home. If y'all guys don't know what PlayStation Home is, it's kind of like a social world. So if you ever play like IMVU or something like that, it's basically where you could communicate with other people around the world and you play as an avatar. But I remember modding PlayStation Home back in the day, and one of the hacks was to get free items in the game, and get free clothing, have super speed run around the servers, have mod chat or whatever, have like admin abilities even though you was like a regular retail user. So that was one of the things I could say. It took me a while learning how to mod. I'm dealing with a lot of like different topics, making tutorials for y'all guys. There's a lot of times where when I make my videos, I have no clue sometimes, and I have to like learn in a day on how to do it so I could like produce that content out for y'all guys. So like running Linux, or anytime when I recently got a Nintendo Switch, it took me a while to understand how to hack a Nintendo Switch, since I'm so used to PlayStation modding, and a lot of the things are similar in terms of that, but it wasn't too hard after I got it. Another question from Nincity, he asked me, what is my favorite thing about modding? I think modding gives a new aspect of gaming, and it gets more out of your game. So you could have extended durations of playtime if you mod. And I guess like I love modding Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5, or the original one, or adding cheats to whatever game, because it makes the game last longer. Let's say if I beat the game 100,000 times, it adds a new play style or playthrough. Same thing with like GTA 5. Playing GTA 5 online when it's modded with your friends is pretty fun, as opposed to playing legit. I mean, I like playing legit, and I also like modding too. Next question from one of my subscribers. His name is Wools or Waz. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but he asked me, what inspired you to making videos on YouTube, excuse me. I really actually don't know, but I felt like one day I seen a lot of people would always ask me on how to do stuff, so I just randomly one day uploaded a video and started my channel up from that. It was nothing special that I was like, okay, I'm gonna start doing this. It just kind of gradually happened over time. Like when I first started YouTube, I had no idea on how to record. My editing sucked. I didn't even do any editing. I just literally uploaded videos. I had no intro. I was basically a noob, and I still consider myself a noob right now. I'm just starting to learn the ropes of YouTube, and I thank you guys for supporting me when I had like 5 subscribers and I kept on stuttering in my videos and stuff like that. But in terms of inspiring on making videos, I think it's just to overall help out the community, because I know a lot of people are kind of scared in terms of like modding, or it seems too hard when it's really not. I feel like if someone is like good at explaining anything, and this just goes for anything, I feel like if someone takes enough time to make easy content so it's apprehensible for everyone to learn, I think you can make a big impact on whatever community or whatever you're doing in real life. So the next question I got from the Creeper X, and he asked me, what what made me get into modding. Back again, it was from the PlayStation 3, and that was on PlayStation Home. That's what got me initially into modding. If it wasn't for PlayStation Home, I don't think I would, you know, be doing YouTube at all, or even learning on how to like jailbreak my consoles and stuff like that. I think Home was like the thing, because what it was for me when I used to mod back on PlayStation Home, it's like, wow, I could do all this stuff on this cool console, and I was like 12 or 13 at the time. So it was pretty cool that I saw like the other side of gaming. Like, it was like, wow, they could like fly in the air in GTA 5, or he could get a money drop. It was like, it was just cool to me at the time. And I always had a passion for computers as a kid. And I remember even back in the day, reading cheat code books for the PlayStation 2 to get like free items or unlimited health, or, you know, a free car in Midnight Club or something like that, or, you know, big doofy rims on my vehicles, or have infinite turbo. I always liked that sense of, you know, that drive you could, you know, sort of state. But yeah, that's essentially all of the, you know, questions and things I have to say in this video. As well, I will have a special thanks to all of the people that have supported me in my channel via right now, so you guys could, you know, showcase that, or I'm gonna showcase that on the screen. So I just want to say thank you all for watching my content on a daily basis. I do appreciate every single one of y'all who, you know, leave great comments and, you know, have been supporting me for day one. I'm planning on to make a lot more content very soon. But with all that being stated out the way, my name's Nagato, and I thank you all for watching, and I see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Of course, I love the llamas. Nice and silky smooth.